Fulton County Sheriff Pat Labatt says he's standing by his deputy, claiming that this defendant was out of control, spitting in the face of his deputy. He says his deputy tried to get him out of that transport van, but that defendant refused to do it. In the meantime, the defendant's attorney is sharing photos with us showing that it shows proof that that deputy crossed the line.
He was punched in the head. We'll be filing a formal complaint with the Sheriff's Department, and I hope they do a thorough investigation.
The attorney for Rodalius Ryan, a defendant who's standing trial in the YSL RICO case involving hip-hop superstar Young Thug, calling for an independent investigation after she claims a Fulton County Sheriff's deputy assaulted her client Monday morning.
I said there's a lot of misunderstandings and miscellaneous altercations that I just don't feel comfortable with, even with like loved ones, and like I want my loved ones to be able to be like informed of what's going on like within my counsel. So like, okay, let's stop right.
According to a court motion filed by the Fulton County District Attorney, Young Thug's co-defendant Khalif Adams allegedly handed Percocet to the rapper during court on Wednesday. In the highlighted part of this video, you can see Adams extend his hand to the rapper. Prosecutors allege that's when he handed him the drugs. You then see a deputy walk up to the rapper and demand he hand it over. Young Thug complies.
We've had yet another instance of alleged contraband being introduced to our space. And as a result of that and a subsequent investigation, one of our inmates unfortunately had to go to Grady Hospital. The other thing I would just invite counsel to talk with their clients about, I know I've mentioned this 3 times now, what is considered to be acceptable behavior. This is the 3rd time that we've had contraband introduced into this in this space. The court's concern is that this may pose issues to them remaining and being present in this.
Do you want the chance to win a brand new iPhone 14 Pro Max, MacBook Pro, or a $500 Amazon gift card? Find the hidden message that's in the video, comment it down below, and subscribe to the channel for a chance to win one of these amazing prizes. Don't forget to hit the like button, and good luck! There's been no order in the court during Young Thug's recent proceedings. A lawyer for one of the 14 defendants in Young Thug's YSL RICO trial has accused a Fulton County deputy of assaulting and injuring her client. Defense attorney Angela DeWilliams told WSB-TV on Monday, January 23rd, that her client, Rodalius Ryan, was punched in the head and fell on the sidewalk while he was waiting to be transported from the jail to the courthouse earlier that day. DeWilliams said the incident left Ryan, also known as Lil Rod, with injuries to his legs, hands, and head. She also raised concerns about him suffering a possible concussion. Sheriffs, however, say Ryan was spitting in the patrol car and has been an ongoing problem. According to an incident report, Deputy Kandakai Morris told Ryan to stop spitting in the vehicle and that he would have to clean it up. Ryan allegedly replied, "I'm not cleaning up shit," before spitting again, hitting Morris in the face with his spit. DeWilliams refuted the claim, saying her client went shh because he was upset about something. Morris then claimed in his report that he walked to the rear passenger side door, opened it, and advised Ryan to exit the vehicle, but his order was ignored. When the deputy reached inside the patrol car to remove Ryan, the defendant allegedly stiffened his body and laid flat in the back seat. Morris claimed that Ryan then began to move his legs in a kicking motion. The deputy said he then grabbed Ryan's ankle, pulled him from the seat, and put him on the ground. However, DeWilliams claimed that her client was dragged out of the vehicle before he had the chance to voluntarily get out of it, resulting in his head hitting the sidewalk. She also accused Morris of purposely agitating her client and plans to file a formal complaint against the Fulton County Sheriff's Office. Ryan faces charges of misdemeanor, simple assault, and obstruction of police over the incident. He is currently serving life in prison for a 2019 murder and has been charged with 1 count of conspiracy to violate the RICO Act and the YSL indictment. Last week, Ryan was charged with unauthorized possession of a prohibited item by an inmate for his role in the alleged courtroom drug deal involving Young Thug and another YSL co-defendant, Khalif Adams. Adams was later transported to nearby Grady Memorial Hospital after law enforcement said he attempted to ingest some of the drugs he was carrying. But Adams' lawyer, Surrender K. Chada Jimenez, refuted that claim and said his client was tased several times. Shortly after, Mr. Adams is taken to the back holding cells. While in the courtroom, the undersigned attorney, his client, and several other individuals could hear loud banging and yelling coming from the holding area where Mr. Adams was being held, Jimenez wrote in a motion. While the disturbance took place, several officers ran into the courtroom and went into the holding area where Mr. Adams was being held. He continued, undersigned counsel observed at least 2 officers remove their belts and firearms and then rush into the holding area. The sounds were distressing to many in the courtroom, and at one point the Honorable Angela DeWilliams asked to go to the back to check on her client, but was not allowed. Undersigned counsel and possibly other people were concerned for the safety of the defendants. During Young Thug's appearance on Wednesday, Thug allegedly received a Percocet pill from one of his co-defendants, Khalif Adams, in a quick hand-to-hand transaction. Hip Hop DX shared verbiage from the motion filed by Fulton County District Attorney Fannie Willis. Defendant Khalif Adams stood up from his chair inside courtroom 1C and walked unattended to where defendant Jeffrey Lamar Williams, aka Young Thug, was seated at the counsel table next to his attorney. The motion continued. Defendant Adams approached defendant Williams and extended a closed right hand toward defendant Williams. Defendant Williams extended his open right hand toward defendant Adams' closed right hand and accepted an item of contraband, a Percocet, from inside defendant Adams' hand. In a statement released to Rolling Stone, Thug's lawyer Brian Steele stated, "Thug does not even know Mr. Adams. Courtroom surveillance tapes caught the alleged handoff between Adams and Thug, and WSB-TV shared the footage. Exclusive, my colleague at Mark Wynn WSB just obtained surveillance video that shows the moment prosecutors accuse Young Thug and his co-defendant Khalif Adams of conducting a hand-to-hand drug deal in court at WSB-TV. This was a tweet from Michael Seaton at Seaton WSB-TV on January 19th, 2023. Officers in the courtroom saw the transaction and proceeded to confiscate the pill from the 31-year-old rapper. After discovering the single pill, authorities then searched Adams for more contraband. Rolling Stone reported sheriff's deputies searched Adams and recovered Percocets, marijuana, tobacco, and other contraband wrapped in plastic and food seasonings to mask the odor of the marijuana. Adams is currently serving a life sentence for murder. The outlet reports Adams was taken to Grady Hospital after he appeared to ingest other items of contraband that he held on his person in an effort to conceal the extent of his crimes within the courtroom. The motion stated this incident delayed jury selection and caused the day's adjournment. District Attorney Willis wrote, "For accuracy, the record should reflect that defendant Williams, along with defendant Adams' actions, caused a delay in the trial." Breaking. More details have come out of yesterday's arrest in the YSL RICO case. Defendant Adams stood up and directly handed Young Thug a Percocet pill. Officers immediately saw and confiscated the contraband. Adams was searched and they found more on him. Another tweet by @ThuggerDaily tweeted January 19th, 2023. Thug's attorneys claimed this incident should not affect his client. Steele added that the motion was an improper attempt to make Mr. Williams responsible for someone else's actions. He reassured that the end result of an investigation into yesterday's incident was that Mr. Williams was cleared of any wrongdoing, Rolling Stone reported. The day before the Percocet incident, the mother of YSL member Yak Gotti was arrested for attempting to sneak rolling papers and tobacco products into the courtroom. WSB-TV reported that 51-year-old Latasha Kendrick was taken into custody after contraband was found in a bag of clothes she dropped off for her son. Kendrick had given the bag of clothing to her son's attorney, Douglas Weinstein. Weinstein reported he had received a text from Naisha Cox, the mother of Kendrick's child, stating, quote, she had placed a sealed envelope inside the bag. Court documents show authorities searched the bag and found the envelope containing tobacco wrapping papers and tobacco products. Kendrick was questioned and denied knowing anything about the envelope. Nevertheless, she was taken into custody at the courthouse. Authorities have filed an arrest warrant for Cox. However, as of now, she has not been arrested. To recap, Young Thug and Gunna are members of the alleged criminal gang Young Slime Life, or YSL, and prosecutors accuse the group of conspiring to violate the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, or the RICO Act, and have cited Young Thug and Gunna's song lyrics, music videos, and even social media posts as evidence in the high-profile case. All this according to the AJC. They also claim Young Thug is a co-founder of YSL. That's why they were able to be tried under the RICO Act. Defense attorneys say YSL is simply a record label. Meanwhile, supposed YSL gang members have been blamed for some alleged crimes in Atlanta. 2 of the defendants named in the original indictment were not arrested, while 4 others still don't have attorneys. That's not because of a miscarriage of justice. There have been multiple attempts to get them lawyers, and those attempts will continue until they have as such, so that they can be tried for their alleged crimes. Several YSL associates have accepted plea deals before Christmas, including Gunna, who was released from jail, and Young Thug's brother brother Quantavious Greer. As part of his probation, Greer must not have any contact with Young Thug, who's been denied bail, or the other defendants until the RICO case is closed. And that right there makes it interesting what the lawyers have said about YSL, because if they are just a record label, then it must not be under very good management, since many of its members are in trouble with the law. According to multiple reports, alleged YSL member Antonio Sledge claims YSL associates killed Donovan Thomas Jr. in 2015. Those involved with the crime reportedly went to Young Thug's home after the killing, where the hip-hop star gave Sledge and other YSL associates money to lay low following the incident. Sledge, who accepted a plea deal, told prosecutors. The fact that many members of this case have already taken plea deals is telling in more than one way. The biggest way being that they'd rather take a smaller punishment than go to jail and basically admit their wrongdoing in a lesser fashion. It also helps cement the prosecution's case, because if you didn't do anything wrong, why take the plea deal? Yes, we know that the law system in the United States isn't the best, and that many people are forced to take deals versus going to court, where a cascade effect can happen and they lose everything despite being innocent. However, in the rap game, which YSL is a part of, taking a plea deal can sometimes be seen as a sign of weakness.